Alright everyone, so the update on this concrete patio that we have done. Hurricane Helene had come through and I was not able to be out here when this was poured at all. So I think Tyler came out and watched them but I was busy cutting up trees and all that, and then he came out and helped me with those afterwards. But just to have somebody here, Tyler was here, but wasn't able to be here, so wasn't able to be it. But another thing happened with Hurricane Helene is that nice tent that we had over to help protect the wood got picked up and thrown across the yard. Not surprised, kind of expected it. Really bent up a bunch of these pieces, the metal. I mean, they were sturdy, really sturdy for a tent, but not against that hurricane, of course. But anyways, the slab, so wasn't able to be here when it was done, but it is put in. They chose to go with a flagstone. That's what this pattern is, stamped concrete. They believe it's like a large flagstone, so there's multiple different patterns that you can choose with the stamped concrete. And the color, I believe, is it's like a semi-charcoal color that they picked. It should still lighten up a little bit over the years, but it will never turn as white as like regular concrete because the concrete mixture is dyed. They of course had to cut it for the expansion joints, but overall I mean, it is definitely put in. Looks really good. Our forms were good. Everything slopes away from the building. Starting at about this point here, there's this cut line right here. From there, that direction is all level because that's going to be underneath a rooftop. But the rest of it, everything slopes away. But I mean, this is what we have ended up with for the concrete. Wanted to let y'all see that. I know did some videoing of getting ready for it, but then just other things happened, so wasn't able to video the concrete itself. We'll still have to build this dirt up a little bit because this is going to be the main entrance, and it's down probably about 8 inches or so. But I have already built up some just by to help hold the forms in place. But we'll have to put in some more dirt, of course. But it's not bad. Come out pretty good. Have sloped it somewhat. This side wasn't so bad, so it was a lot easier to slope out through. But we've still got a bunch of dirt from over there that we've got to remove to help make the water run away from the building anyways. So a lot of that dirt will get moved around this side. So as people will basically, of course, come up through, and they'll be parking on the other side, kind of where the old U-Haul is that's over there on the other side of the dump trailer. And then they would be just basically walking around and coming in through this area. So just want to give you an update on that concrete. Throw it in at the end of the video where we did everything, got everything ready. So the process of the stamping, I would have liked to have gotten that on video for y'all, but it's basically like some mats that after it's dried to a certain amount, they put those mats on, kind of like cookie cutter type deal. And then they'll stamp it into the concrete and then pick them up. So in our trying to catch up after we had been away from here for a couple of weeks, cutting trees off houses and doing stuff like that, so have been trying to catch up somewhat and have gotten a good bit of the framing done. We still got probably at least 40% left to do. Most of the walls are done, but not all. But so this is of course the main area. We can't frame this section because we're waiting to actually get the specs on the door they are gonna put there. That's where there'll be some double doors going there. We'll be able to frame this, but we're gonna have to move everything out the way first. We basically moved everything to this side so that we could get that whole side done, because that's where most of the material is gonna use. So that way we won't have to move as much to do this area over here. But we'll still have to frame up for windows. There'll be windows here, 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 and here, and here. because the door that's going to go out to the patio is in between these two posts here, and we've got those in already, part of framing in the bathrooms. So, but that door is it's a commercial style door, so it is a 7-foot door that's going in there. To each of the bathrooms is a 7-foot door. This wall that divides basically the service area from the winemaking and prep area is completed, except for right up here on top of this, there'll be a header that comes across to go in for the hallway. So it'll be a almost 8-foot, it's like 7'10" case opening. So to go to the bathrooms, and then there'll be a door at the end of the hallway for the staff to be able to go into the kitchen area. But that's pretty much, that wall's done except for that, and we'll be framing that in place. All of these walls we've had to build and then line them up with the top pretty much, and then swing the bottom in, or beat the bottom in to be more accurately, to basically slightly pick up on these trusses that have been here for many years. Probably based off of from what the owner said, they've probably been here close to 15, somewhere between 15 and 20 years. So with that being the case, they've sagged slightly, and we're having to pick them up to make it all level. So with that being the case, that's why I left this out. Normally I would frame all this together as an entire wall with that, but that big header with trying to swing this in place, it would have created a weak point at the bottom that could have snapped anyway, so it wasn't worth going through that hassle. We'll frame it in place instead. But in here for the bathrooms are going to have 8-foot ceilings, so we stopped the walls at 8 foot, and then we've got our ceiling joists on top of that, and then we'll just build a knee wall up the rest of the way. In here will also be an 8-foot ceiling, but it's going to be a acoustical ceiling to allow access to HVAC duct work going into the bathrooms and any other kind of maintenance that may need to be done for vents or anything like that. But the bathroom's framed. The only thing we got to do is put the rafters on top, but as far as what the sizing of the bathroom, it is done and completed. We moved our temporary water line over there for now to get it out of our way to be able to put this wall in, and we'll be changing all that too. Hopefully we'll get all that on video, hopefully a lot of what's left. But second bathroom here pretty much looks exactly like the first one. Not really anything different there. And then we're going to come into the prep area. So the ceiling in here is going to be at the bottom of these rafters, these truss system that are out there. We're going to do something a little bit decorative. So I'm not going to, we're going to let you kind of come along the process of doing that, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what we're going to do because that's spoilers. But so in here we've got a wall across here. There'll be a little mop sink and some other stuff there, water heater type things I think is over there. I'm not sure. Water heater might be over there. It might be on this side. But this is basically, this big area of the kitchen is going to be pretty much be where the wine making takes place. We still have to frame. The only thing left in this area to frame is that wall. And we had to, there was a 4x6 post that was right here. You can see where it's still, the bottom of it is. We had to cut that out because of the way that the architect had drawn up for the door to the exterior and the placement of the different winemaking stuff. So we had to cut that out. That door's, it's in the middle of that door. But so that's the only wall we have left in here to do. Otherwise, the rest of them are done. And then this area will basically be the prep area. So as far as service from out there to the customers, the staff would be able to just come through this door, and then the service area right there. So there'll be a lot of sinks and refrigerators and dishwashers, stuff like that over there in that area. but we still, of course, got to do the rafters. They'll be coming in. So, yeah, other than that, I think going to go ahead and try to video some of what's left of the framing and let y'all watch that. All right, so we basically just did a mock-up. Everything from here down would be sheetrock, if in this case of this one, with a large window here, or a large window in the middle, and then two smaller ones on either side. Same thing would be with this option, sheetrock from here down, large window in the middle with 2 smaller windows on each side with like a stacked pattern. And then if going with this option, I think this right here would look best for these ones with the stacked. The owner may not want to do this stacked version, basically something like this. Just I know one of the pictures he showed me was something similar to this, so I'm trying to let him kind of see the different options in place. And then this one here, basically sheetrock from here down, and it would be just 2 plain. This one is basically to match this option over here. Me personally, I prefer this option because of the height. It would give more privacy to the people who are outside, with a little bit less glass going down. I mean, you can see the vineyard just fine through this glass, so there's not really a need for this glass to come lower, in my opinion, visually for the view. And it would also be about the right height to where, you know, they could always put coasters there and people could set their glass on it while looking out the window. So personally, I prefer this option. Maybe doing this option with a middle basically piece on the 2 side ones, that is also perfectly viable as well. But this option would also work too. It just depends on how much glass he's wanting and how he feels about it, of course. So, but this is basically just a mock-up so he can make up his mind, visually be able to see it and be able to make a decision on the windows.